Good day, and welcome to today's Vision Marine webcast as part of the Planet MicroCap Showcase. It is now my pleasure to turn the floor over to your hosts, CFO Kouan Santer and co-founder, CEO Alex Mangian of Vision Marine.
Thank you, Kelly, for that introduction. Good morning or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kouan Santer, and together with Alex Mangian, CEO and co-founder, we'll be presenting Vision Marine Technologies. A little background about myself and Alex. I'm a CFO and I'm a CPA or chartered accountant from the UK and from Canada, and I also have an engineering degree, and this is my second IPO to the NASDAQ. And Alex is a former offshore boat racer, those things that do 150 miles per hour plus, and he's also an electrician by trade. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into our slide deck, and on slide 3, you're going to see on your screens, I'm going to ask Alex to go through our technology and how that applies to the boating world.
Yes, our fully electric powertrain and groundbreaking disruptive technology. So the first mover advantage, we believe that the game changer in our complete system is due to the fact that we were inspired by the world leader in the car industry such as Tesla and Porsche. Let me talk to you about our technology. It's a complete plug-and-play system that includes an electric outboard, an inboard charger, and a battery pack that will be sold to the other boats OEM to compete directly with the overall outboard manufacturer such as Mercury, Honda, Yamaha, and Suzuki. The company has invested millions of dollars into creating our disruptive powertrain technology that separates us from our competitor. In particular, the design of our motor union assembly, engine cooling control support, and we also have adopted a 700-volt architecture, and we are developing our own proprietary VMAR, such as battery managing system. Our powertrain is the cleanest and the most powerful eco-friendly outboard on the market, and it requires very low maintenance. The cost of use is reduced by 90% compared to the ICE engine outboard or the gas motor outboard, and we're showing zero carbon footprint. And it can be easily recharged on any boat dock worldwide using a regular shore power, 110 or 220. So basically, it will be possible for you to purchase a brand new boat, such as Sea Ray, Beliner, Chris Craft, name it, and it will be equipped with a powerful electric outboard called the Emotion 180. Cool on.
Thank you very much for that. Going to the next slide then. What's actually causing this rapid growth in the market? Well, in North America, 75 million people went boating each year. That's according to the U.S. Coast Guard. Sales of outboard engines in the U.S. increased to a 13-year high, representing revenues of $2.9 billion. And consumer demand for high-performance engines, those engines that are 175 horsepower plus, continue to trend upwards and exhibited double-digit gains. Another factor that's actually continuing the growth in the electric boat market is due to the advancements in technologies, especially in battery technologies, which gives greater efficiency, offers greater range and higher speed. Decrease in battery prices. I can give you an example of that, which in 2010, the cost per kilowatt per hour was $1,200 US, and by 2018, that had gone to $200 US. And I think it's sitting around about $135 right now. Once it reaches $100 per kilowatt per hour, it will reach price parity with internal combustion engines. There are problems inherent with internal combustion engines, including high pollution rates, which we'll go into later. Traditionally high fossil fuel prices when compared to the cost of electricity. And other noteworthy advantages of using electric outboard engines in boats is less vibration, noiseless and smokeless use, and considerably less engine maintenance than boats that use internal combustion engines. Just to put it into perspective, the market opportunity for electric power units for marine use is expected to grow substantially in the coming years as changing consumer behavior combined with technology advancements and government pollution strictures contribute to a growing market. Just to give you the size of the market then in terms of numbers, the National Marine Manufacturers Association have indicated that the market will grow to $17 billion in 2025 from $2.9 billion in 2018. And the worldwide recreational market will go to $63 billion by 2026. Another interesting stat that we can look in terms of the size of the outboard engine market is that in 2019, according to the NMMA, 350,000 outboard engines were sold in North America alone. So if you consider you take 1% of that, that's 3,500 units, and we sell each of our powertrain units, that's including the battery as well, for approximately $77,000 US. That represents about $270 million in revenue. Another factor that's actually increasing demand is the environmental damage caused by traditional internal combustion engines. And in fact, cities and municipalities now are trying to improve air quality and protect water habitats. And they're trying to do that by either restricting the use of internal combustion engine boats or completely banning the use of internal combustion engine boats on their lakes, rivers, and waterways. And again, to put that into perspective, in the early 2000s, we had 8 million boats in the United States release 15 times more pollutants annually into the environment than the oil spill produced by the oil tanker Exxon Valdez in 1989. And that was 20 odd years ago. Can you imagine that this issue has now just gone even worse? US EPA has indicated the following potential environmental impacts from gasoline-powered ice boating. That's high cumulative toxicity in the water as well as in the air, increased pollutant concentrations in aquatic organisms and sediments, increased nutrients leading to an increase in algae and a decrease in oxygen, and high levels of pathogens. So what does that mean from a commercial perspective? Well, there's a municipality in Texas that is looking to convert their diesel-powered taxis that they use to move 250,000 passengers a year to an eco-friendly solution. The City of Montreal, we announced recently they have ordered 30 boats from us. The City of Cartagena in Colombia is looking to purchase 50 electric boats from us. And the City of the City of Lisbon in Portugal is just completed a brand new marina, and they're looking to populate that marina with electric boats. And finally, Venice, Italy has decided that by 2025 they'll be banning the use of internal combustion engine boats, which, considering that that's the main mode of transport, that's quite an announcement. And Amsterdam in Holland has followed suit as well. So what I'm going to ask now is that I'm going to ask Alex to walk through our product offerings and how our technology impacts that.
Yes, so we do manufacture 5 eco-friendly boats that are fully customizable. You choose the hull colors, the seats, the battery pack, and for less than $1 of electricity per day, we'll give you up to 11 hours of range nonstop on a single charge. The 2 most popular ones are the Fantail and the Vault. They are used by many cities as water taxi, eco-tour boats, but they're also being purchased by rentals operations, popular boat clubs such as Freedom Boat Club. Big hotel chains are also purchasing our boats because they are eco-friendly and they are used on non-motorized waterways. So one of the latest purchase from the Hard Rock Hotel Group was an hotel chain in Cancun. So they're moving happy travelers around their hotel on our boats. We also produce 3 fast boats, the Vault, the Bruce, and the Phoenix. These boats are the bench test of our technology. They were rigged with the Emotion 180 outboard, and this is how we created our reputation over the years. The Phoenix is the latest model, and that was the showboat at the 2020 Miami Boat Show. And we were honored to be sponsored by BMW Batteries and the National Marine Manufacturers Association for a second year. We were overwhelmed with the success of that first prototype with the media, the public, especially with the boat's OEM. The boat was sea trial at 33 miles per hour with 8 passengers, while everyone was speaking to each other because those boats are pretty noiseless. We also have the world record of the fastest electric production boat with the Volt 180, also sponsored by BMW Batteries. That took place during summer 2019 at the famous Lake of the Ozark shootout. And as we speak, no one is faster than us, and we can't wait for the next challenge. If you want to know how we build our boat and you want to learn how we are building them, I'm inviting you to watch How It's Made on Discovery Channel, Season 32, Episode 13.
Thank you very much for that, Alex. We are the only electric boat manufacturer that has all three certifications. That's the US Coast Guard certification, Canadian Coast Guard certification, and European conformity. And that's important because the National Marine Manufacturers Associations have indicated that in the near future, they'll be requesting all electric boat manufacturers to conform to at least the US Coast Guard. And that is not the simple matter of filing in your paperwork. You might have to go back and redesign your boats because they have to comply with IP67 and IP69 standards. And talking about competitors going forward, as you can see, the only competitor that has any sort of IP is Duffy. But when you further investigate that IP, you quickly realize that it's based on lead acid batteries, and the maximum speed that they can do is about 5 miles per hour. Going forward then, in terms of the impact of COVID, both Michael Harp, CEO of Winnebago, and David Falk, CEO of New Brunswick, have all indicated that COVID has had a positive impact on the market for boating, and we expect that market to continue into 2021. And in fact, the National Marine Manufacturers Association have indicated that they actually expect that to go into 2022 as well. And in terms of, sorry, I could just find out where we are. And in terms of our early demand, then what we did was we have our year end is the 31st of August, and so we produced 46 and 21 boats, respectively for 2020 and 2019. And in our production facility present in Montreal, we can produce up to 150 power boats and up to 300 powertrains in our facility for over the next 12 months. And what we also did was to garner some interest in our powertrains, we actually sent out letters of interest to 10 OEMs, 5 in North America and 5 outside of North America, and they came back with 1,025 units spread over 3 years, 186 units post 12 months following the IPO, and 24 months following the IPO, which was 335 units, and 504 units 36 months following the IPO. And remember, we sell each of our units at approximately 77,000 US or 100,000 Canadian. So you can work out the revenue components from there. So we're poised to capitalize on the substantial and increasingly legislated move to green energy. Our outboard engine market is expected to grow from $17 billion by 2025 from $2.9 billion in 2018. The electric powertrain is designed to yield at least 180 horsepower at 94% efficiency. What that really means is that we run our powertrains at 94%, and our nearest competitor, they run their powertrains at about 50 to 55%, and the maximum power that they can produce is about 50 horsepower. And they sell that same powertrain at the same price that we sell ours. We provide eco-friendly solutions to gas traditional ICE outboard motors with multiple revenue sources, from e-commerce electric boat sales, direct sales to OEMs of our electric powertrains. And we have rental operations throughout North America to showcase our brand. And finally, we have highly knowledgeable and experienced staff in the nautical sector focused on growth and execution. So what I'm going to ask now is I'm going to ask Alex to go through how he got into this industry and his vision.
My vision, it all started after a boat race hosted by Poker Rents of America in 2015 when I met the legend, Mr. Ian Bruce. He's an Olympic sailor and a famous boat designer who designed 3 of our boats, the Quaitu, the Fantel, and the Bruce. He's also the father of the Laser sailboat, the world's most popular sailboat. He did sold more than 200,000 units in 141 countries. So at this point, I had to make some changes in my life, for my kids and for the planet. I was burning a ton of fuel on a speedboat without thinking the impact and the pollution I was making. And I felt that the boating industry needed a real, fast, eco-friendly boat that could compete with any other gas boat. So we went back to the factory and started working on building a fast electric boat. 1 year after meeting Ian Bruce, we we're the official pace boat of the 2016 Poker Run of America with an all-electric Boost 22 as an official pace boat for the start of the race. That day, Patrick, my partner, was the driver of that boat with the official, and I was driving for the last time an auto limit 46. And when the race started, the crowd reaction was priceless. And since that day, I'm on a mission to change the boating industry by saving the waterways. I'm giving myself 5 years to take over the market with real fast, eco-friendly boats equipped with our Emotion 180 outboard. Thank you all.
Thanks, Alex. In terms of the next slide then, we're on the management team. You've met myself and Alex, and the other protagonist is Patrick Bobby, who's also an offshore boat racer and co-founder of the company. In terms of our directors then, we have Robert, Steve, Louisa, and Renaud. Renaud is important to us because he runs Hydro-Quebec's TM4 division, which is a world leader in the design and manufacturing of electric drivetrains. And we'll be looking to him for some guidance when we reach our production capacity of 300 powertrain units at our present facility. In terms of the actual capitalization of the company, we have approximately 8 million shares outstanding, options of 964, price between 207 and 276, and directors and officers as a group hold 45.6% of the company. And then finally, the key takeaways of this presentation is that we are a technology company that happens to be in the electric boat market, very similar to Tesla, who is a battery tech company that happens to be in the car market. And we're going after the entire boating market, not just the electric boat market. We build purpose-built electric boats that showcase our electric powertrains. We're the first to market launching the world's most powerful electric outboard motor. We have highly proprietary first mover IP. We're poised to capitalize on the substantial legislative move to green energy. The outboard engine market is expected to grow to $17 billion by 2025 from $2.9 billion in 2018, and the global market is expected to grow to $63 billion over the same time frame. We provide eco-friendly solutions to gas traditional internal combustion engine outboard motors with multiple revenue sources, from e-commerce electric boat sales to direct sales of our electric powertrains to OEMs, and rental operations throughout North America to provide brand awareness. Finally, we have highly experienced management staff in the nautical sector that are focused on growth and execution. So that's our story, ladies and gentlemen, and please fire away with any questions that you may have. All right, I have one question here. Alex, when do you think we're going to be start marketing our eMotion technology and start taking in deposits?
May 1st, it's the launch date, so we're working on soft launch next week, and May 1st will be the first, the final day, first day.
Great. Okay, and we made that announcement quite recently. In terms of our eMotion powertrains, are there going to be any further powerful powertrains than just the 180 horsepower?
Yes, we will probably. We will work on pushing the sales and actually producing mass production of the 180 horsepower. And once public is actually accepting the product, because it's all about educating the public, we'll start advertising and working on a higher horsepower motor.
Okay, great. Another question here saying, what is the autonomy or range of your boats in terms of time, distance at cruising speed?
Range is about 70 nautical miles based on a measurement we did on a Boost 22. Speed was about 22 miles per hour, landing speed. So you're doing about 3.5 hours or 70 nautical miles.
Okay, great. And where can we charge our boats?
Any marina who has 110 or 220 volt regular shore power, 30 amps. Okay.
And I have another question here saying, how has COVID affected our business? Is it on the demand side or also your ability to buy components and make boats as well?
Actually, COVID was pretty good for us. The boat sales are at an increase over 165% for the past Q2, if I'm right. As components, we were actually ahead of the game ordering parts that we needed. As we speak, we're actually afloat with parts. So COVID was positive for us.
Great, fantastic. In terms of, I have another question here. Are there any competitors in the market for our powertrains?
There's one guy, it's called Torpedo, but it's not actually a real competitor. The biggest horsepower that they have is 80 horsepower for a few seconds, then it drops to 50, 51 horsepower. So it's not a real outboard that could push a regular 20 or 25 footer boat.
Right. Another question here. Have you looked into producing conversion kits for existing fuel-driven boats? I guess they're looking at retrofitting.
No, we are actually working and pushing the OEMs to actually, it's too time consuming, and we're pushing more into the brand new boats and with OEMs and dealerships. Great.
Okay. All right. Another question I have here is how many powertrains are you forecasting to sell in 2021 and in 2022? So we've had letters of interest of approximately 186 units for 2021 and 336 units in 2022. And we'll be looking to close those, as we've already said, by doing a show and tell, so to speak, once we're allowed to, from a COVID perspective. And we're also now beginning to take deposits on our eMotion powertrains, as we've announced in the market as well. This is the one. So, Alex, what would you say the largest market is, the USA or Europe?
We'll be able to give you the right answer after the campaign of deposit May 1st. But as we speak, I would say US is probably 55 to 60% of our market, and 40% is about the European market.
Okay, great. And the final question I hear is, I'm not quite understanding what it is, what you're looking for here. So what type of sales organization are we using? So we actually have direct sales to our customers right now. And so we only sell our eMotion powertrains to OEMs, that's original equipment manufacturers. And but our boats can be sold through dealerships as well as directly purchased from us as well. Final question I have here is what sort of product mix are we looking for going forward? Our product mix will be 70% powertrains and 30% boats. As I mentioned in the key takeaway slide, we are a technology company, and our focus is on our eMotion powertrains to build. Current iteration is 180 horsepower, but I know there will be more powerful units coming out shortly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have no further questions, I'm going to say that we've actually met our timelines of 25 minutes, and that's our story.
Thank you. This does conclude today's webcast. Thank you for your participation and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.